Okay, so a few of you asked me to do a sort of explanation video on how I did this pot which alters the waveform and the LED. Basically one leg of the LED is going to ground. I've wrapped it around there, put it through this little hole and soldered it to the ground of the power input there. The other end of it is coming off this resistor here, which I believe is R22. So it's coming off the south side of that, going through a 56 ohm resistor and then up to the LED. The reason this is on is so that I can just tap on here and show you exactly the voltages that I'm getting, and you can see them changing over time as the LED rises, the peak rises. As the LED dims, the peak dims, or vice versa. And then as we turn the pot, we can see the change that that's having on the waveform as well. So again, it's more of an off-on with a very gentle rise and fall in between. And if we go backwards, back to the sine wave. Okay. Now the reason I've done it like this is I've got an unmodified tailspin here and the modified one here. You can see as well I didn't do the mod exactly as the instructional says. I put this was it 470 nanofarad or 0.47 microfarad, depending on how you want to look at it, in parallel with C18, I believe it is. So I bought this one to do the same kind of thing, but I just wanted to demonstrate this as well. So I've got another exactly the same value, which again was 470 nanofarad or 0.47 microfarad, and I just wanted to touch on here so you can see the trace and see what happens when I add another one in parallel with it. So you can see it slows down even more. Take it off, put it back on, take it off. The potentiometer is a B46K, which is linear, and it's coming off the north side of this voltage regulator. I removed R28 completely and soldered that to the north side of that tab there. It's all quite precarious, so what I've done is I've anchored it with a cable tie there, just so that the weight of the pot's supported physically rather than hanging off that. Also hot glued underneath here, and I did hot glue over the top of there, so I had to remove that, and obviously I've hot glued here as well. But it's quite interesting to see the difference between the two. I've actually got a reference signal going through, so neither are engaged at the moment. You can hear my reference signal there if I engage this one and the original. They're both set to actually they're not set to as slow as they can, full depth and as slow as they can. So again, you can see the sine wave there, and this side, if I go to the same point here, you can see it's a lot quicker. Okay, so again, if I take this and put it across C18, we'll see the effects of the slowdown mod. So I thought that would be interesting to demonstrate that with the sine wave, so you can see exactly what's going on. So just to recap, the potentiometer goes across the north end of this voltage regulator, which is T6. Sorry, just knocked the camera a bit. And the north side of this resistor, which is R28, which is completely removed in this example. You've also got a 56 ohm resistor coming off the south side of R22, and that goes to the positive leg of your LED. The negative leg goes to ground. You could have anchored it here, I suppose, but I just wanted something a bit more, again, physically robust. So I put it there. I think my next step is to put a switch in so that I can change the rates, and maybe put this one, switch this in parallel with it or out of parallel with it. Do it that way. Also, note these pots here, these trimmer pots. I found something quite interesting on this one, where if you tweak it, as it starts to fade away, you get a little bit of breakup and distortion, which I thought was interesting. So I'm going to have a play around with that. Unplug my reference signal, which is getting kind of annoying. Plug in a guitar. These jacks are really fiddly when they're not in the enclosure. So set normally with that trim plot. That's my pick. Over there. Okay, so if I adjust the trim pot this way, starting to break up. Again, if I back off a bit, nice and clean. Again, if I go right up there, so it's a bit ring moddy, which I think is quite interesting. But I notice if you put it just on the edge, it kind of responds to your picking dynamic. So if you're soft, and you dig in, so that's a kind of cool thing to play around with if you want a little bit more grit. So there you go. Sorry it's taken me such a long time to do the video, but you know what time's like. Alright, speak to you soon guys. Bye.